Okay, surds. So there's rules of surds that we need to be aware of. When you've got root A times root B, that's the same as root AB. So you can actually put the A times B under one square root. So the example here, you've got root 3 times root 7. That's the same as 3 times 7 under one root, so you get root 21. Same idea when dividing square roots. Okay, it's just one big square root, A divided by B. Okay, so you can see here root 10 divided by root 2, you can write it in one big square root and then you can work out the division, so you get 5. What's important with surds, you know your square numbers, okay? Square numbers are intricately sort of related to square roots, obviously, because it's the opposite operation. So it's ideally remember these. Of course, 1 squared is 1, 2 squared is 4, 3 squared is 9, 4 squared is 16, and so on. So we'll be aware of these. 11 squared, 12 squared. These ones at the end here, 13 squared, 14 squared, 15 squared. They like to put them into the exam paper, so it's well worth remembering them and be equated to them. Okay, so it says here simplify the following. Now you could get asked this in the exam, okay, where you've got square root of 8 and they ask you to simplify it. Now they're not asking you to work it out, right? They're not asking for a numerical answer, because the numerical answer to this will be irrational, right? The number will just be horrible. It will go on and on forever, no pattern to it. And you wouldn't be expected to know that in the exam. But what they want you to do is make the number in that square root as small as possible. And we can do that by using this idea up here, these rules here. If we think of square root of 8, okay, now if we look at one of these square numbers here, that goes into 8, okay, that's a factor of 8. Now 4 of course goes into 8, so we could use that one. 4 times 2 would be 8. And then what I can do is use my rules of surds, split these up, okay, so it'll be root 4 times root 2, okay, so I can split them up, and then we know root 4, square root of 4 is just 2, isn't it? So we end up with 2 root 2. So I've simplified it. The number now in the square root is a lot smaller than what we started with. Do the same over 24. Again, think about a square number that goes into 24. 4 again, right? So you could write that as 4 times 6. That's what 24 is. Again, use the rules of surds, split it up, root 4 times root 6, and then root 4 is just 2, and then root 6. This one here, 28, again, I know 4 goes into it. So 28 is 4 times 7, so you can split that up, root 4 times root 7, and then that would be 2 root 7. 40, looks like it's 4 again, doesn't it? 4 goes into it. So you can rewrite that as 4 times 10. So that'll be root 4 times root 10. So that'll be then 2 root 10. 45 is 4 again? I don't think so. 4 is not going to go into it. Let's see what else. 9 is the square number. So that goes into it, doesn't it? You could rewrite that as 9 times 5. Okay. Which would be root 9 then times root 5. And root 9 is just 3 root 5. Okay. So you've got your answer there simplified. So the number in here is a lot smaller than what we started with here. Okay, so we've broken it down, found a square number that multiplies by 5 in this case to get 45, split them up, and we know root 9 is 3, so we get our answer. Let's do this one again. 54, actually 9 goes into this again, 9 times 6, so that'll be root 9 times root 6, which will be 3 root 6. 32, now 4 goes into 32, doesn't it? So you could do 4 times 8, okay, but there's a bigger square number that goes into it, 16, so choose the bigger one, because we want to simplify this as much as possible. So 16 times 2, which will be root 16 times root 2, which of course is 4 root 2, okay, because root 16 is 4 root 2. Now had I picked the alternative option, okay, and I just said 4, so 4 times 8, then I would have split them up, root 4 times root 8, and I would have got 2 root 8, okay? Now that answer would look different to this, okay? This answer is better because I've got a smaller number in that root. This one's number slightly bigger. Of course, what I could do with this answer now is go one step further and simplify it again using the idea that I had up here for this one. Anyway, that's something to think about. This one, our root 48, again 16 goes into it. 16 times 3, that'll be root 16 times root 3, which is 4 root 3. Then to finish off these last two here, root 80, 16 again goes into that. This is an important one, this comes up in the exam a lot. So that'll be root 16 times root 5, which would be 4 root 5. Okay, because 16 times 5 is 80. So we split them up and you get that. 150, well, if you think about it, 25, isn't it? 25 is a square number. 25 goes into 150. So 25 times 6, yeah? So then that'll be root 25 times root 6. So that'll be 5 root 6.